Here's where we come into our problem. What is going on, my friends? Welcome back. Today we're going to be pulling the motor on this Subaru. That's right, we're pulling the freshly built 52-mile motor out of this Subaru. Number one, I don't know if you saw last video, but the reason we're pulling this motor, we have a ticking sound coming from the driver's side head, and it's pretty much reverberating out of the driver's side portion of the exhaust manifold. So that is indicating a bent valve to me. Turbo's not spooling correctly. We got a cylinder 4 misfire, so I'm assuming we have a bent valve on cylinder 4 or 2 or 4 or however many. We're gonna find out. But I'm gonna try and get this motor out as fast as I can, probably I'm hoping within an hour, to have this motor out on a stand and start tearing into it to get these heads off. We're just gonna pull the driver's side head. We'll hop into that when we get that far. But let's start pulling this motor on this car so that we can actually try and fix this problem, because I want to drive this and I want to be able to get this done as quick as possible. So with that being said, let's hop into pulling this thing. So here's how I like to pull a Subaru motor. I like to start with everything on top and leave the motor mounts for the last. So I'll have it hanging. I'll get downpipe off, bell housing bolts, all the intercooler pipes. I am going to pull this motor with the AC still on the car and the power steering still on the car. So with that being said, we have to pull everything else out to include the cooling system. Let's get to work. I dropped my mic. It almost landed in coolant. That wouldn't have been good. Alright, so went over my time limit just a little bit. Instead of an hour, I got it out in 2 hours. Next time will be faster, but let's hope there's not a next time. Alright, so we got this guy out, everything's unhooked. Now really the only thing to do is get that on there. The only thing we have to do here is just pull the clutch. I'm going to leave the flywheel on, just pull the clutch, and then we're going to attack that driver's side head once we pull the timing. Alright, so we got the engine out. Everything looks great, obviously, because it was running. It's fine. This looks like crap, so we're going to pressure wash this. I didn't do it when we reinstalled it. I should have. Hate my life for that. Number two, we have a lot of disassembly to do to get this down to a long block without accessories to be able to get this head off. So we're only going to pull the driver's side head because that's where the ticking is coming from. So we have balancer, timing components, intake, valve covers, cams. That's about it. Shouldn't take very long to do. Let's get this stripped down. Well, as you saw, we got this torn down, so rule of thumb for me is always check the easy stuff first. Given we did pull the motor, still, there's a lot of things that I can clean up and fix now that the motor's out. I mean, it only took like an hour to take the engine out, so it's not that big of a deal. But here, I think I found our culprit. All right, so if you look, timing mark to timing mark, timing mark to timing mark, those are lined up, that's lined up. Timing mark, here's where we come into our problem. I already retimed this engine once, and I guess I didn't do it correctly, because now we're 2 teeth off the other way than we were before. And it's running so much better, but that's because the timing is advanced instead of retarded. So I think we're gonna have to retime this engine again. And I was looking in the cylinders, everything looks perfectly fine. So I think that valve, with it being 2 teeth off, is causing the reason for that clicking sound. It's just out of time. I don't think that any of the valves kiss the pistons from what I can see, given my bore scope broke, so I can't really look in there. So I need to go probably buy another one so I can verify before I retime this engine. Good news is, I don't think it's broken. I think it just needs to be retimed again. Not that big of a deal, we can handle that. That's pretty easy to accomplish. However, I need to verify that nothing's broken before I put it back together, put it in the car, start it, and then have to redo this whole process all over again. Upon further diagnosis, everything I believe is good. So we were 2 teeth off the other way than we were prior. Now, I have this whole thing retimed again. Everything looks super good. That mark lines up, that mark lines up, lines up, lines up. This is good. And now we are half a tooth off. I was looking at pictures of previously when I timed this motor and how everything kind of went together and how far off I was. And turns out this is way better than it was before. And I didn't even have to pull the timing tensioner, which was great. So we got everything squared away. I kind of just shimmied it over and it fixed it. So now I'm crossing my fingers and I'm hoping that our valves aren't bent, because that would be a massive problem. But like I said, I want to save some money and hopefully this doesn't cost me a lot more money. But if we have to take this head off in the future, not a problem. I could probably get it knocked out in like 2 hours. So I'm gonna start buttoning up a couple things here, getting this put back together, and then we're gonna go ahead and try and slap it back in this car. I don't think I'm gonna get it back in the car in this video. Let's get it fully dressed, let's get some things fixed up, and we'll see where we're at. Alright, so I had to go run out and do an errand. That's why I'm going to change clothes. But here, we're just about ready to put this motor back in the car. One thing I don't want to do is I don't want to put this motor back in this car with a dirty engine bay like I did the first time. So, we're not going to be able to get the motor in this video. I have just enough time to get this engine bay clean, get it looking nice, ready to receive this engine. So, let's go ahead. I'm going to bring this car down. I'm going to get it off the jack, lower it down. I'm going to push it out to the driveway just a little bit so that way we can go ahead and pressure wash this engine bay. Alright, so we got the world's best, in my opinion, the world's best degreaser. It is the super clean degreaser. Pretty cheap, works pretty well. So we're just going to spray down this whole entire engine bay. Especially the steering rack, all the places that we want to clean up. We're going to try and stay away from all the electrical connectors and all the main harness stuff. Alright, so now all I'm going to do is just take all the main important connectors that had potential water in them. Try and get those as dry as possible. Well, that's about as good as it's going to get. We got most of the grime and grease off. Seems like that power steering rack, I think it's a newer one, but I think the one that was there previously was leaking pretty bad, so got most of that cleaned up. It was pretty bad under here as well. Got all that cleaned up. So now it looks pretty good. We're just going to let it dry. But like I said, I don't think we're going to get to putting in the engine today, so I'm probably going to wrap up this video right here. We got a lot of work done, and I'm pretty happy with what I found instead of a bent valve, which we could possibly have a bent valve still. We're gonna have to figure it out, unfortunately. By trial and error, I don't have a like a running stand to actually start it and heighten the RPMs to see if our issue is actually gone. So we have to put it in, and we have to drive it, and we have to find out. So hopefully it doesn't come to that. Hopefully it was out of timing. It was only out by like a tooth and a half, because it's always off half a tooth. So I don't think we hurt anything. I don't think anything's wrong. It was still driving fine. It just had that misfire towards the end, and that was after a little baby pull. So I'm assuming that it misfired on there during the pull. Who knows? We're gonna have to see. But now it is timed correctly, which I thought it was before, and it wasn't. So now it 100% is. Now we can go ahead, throw it back in this engine bay, and hope to God that everything's going good. But with that being said, I'm gonna wrap up the video right here. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate all of you. Can't wait to get this thing running again and driving. But until then, I'll catch you guys in the next one. See ya.